Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and those of the such. My name is Sam Gomez. I am a woodwind doubler based out of North Florida, Gainesville. And today I'm going to be doing a video that I've already done before, but it was for a different horn. So I'm going to be doing a mouthpiece review. So I'll go over the logistics of that in a second. But I made that. Ooh, got a sticker coming off my bass sax case. Anyway. I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh well. Anyways, I made it for baritone sax, and I want to say I put that video out 3 or 4 years ago at this point. Probably, yeah, close to 4 years ago, and that got some pretty good traction. So I figured I'd do it for this saxophone. I'm gonna be doing it for the bass sax today. Now, as I see people on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook getting their own bass saxophones, which is amazing. The bass saxophone needs a comeback, so to say. You see people playing them in ska bands and funk bands, and Moon Hooch uses one, and there's a band in Eastern, I don't know exactly where, Eastern Europe called Mute. They're what the heck? Acoustic techno, like house music, but with horns and percussion. But it's spelled M-E-U-T-E. They've got a bass sax, and it's pretty cool. I like their stuff. They got good stuff. But I digress. So tonight, because it is nighttime where I'm at, anyways. I have, I want to say 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9. I have 9 mouthpieces, both baritone and bass sax, and I'll let you know which one is a baritone and which one is a bona fide bass sax mouthpiece. Now, obviously, as you know, you can use baritone sax mouthpieces on bass saxophone to some level of success. It just depends on the facing, the chamber, what strength reed you have on there. When I was in college, and I played a bunch of bass sax in college, like for raves and gigs and whatnot, I used a Jody Jazz ESP8 baritone sax mouthpiece with a Barry Woodwind Star Soft. So it was a synthetic reed, but that was a really good setup. I probably shouldn't have sold that mouthpiece, but I did, and it is what it is. And I have better bass saxophone mouthpieces to this day. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and show y'all the pieces that we have here. I'm pretty excited about some of these because I just got one of these in. I should say I opened it up yesterday. I was on a trip for a pretty long time up north, and this came in the mail while I was gone. So I'll start with the baritone pieces first. Yeah. So I have a vintage Woodwind Co. New York. This is a B5. This was one of my first mouthpieces I think I ever used on bass sax when I got my con. And then I got others. Sorry, there was some stuff on the table. But and I'm going to be using different reeds and different ligatures, so it might not be exactly fair, but I'm going for tone here today. I'm not trying to, sound like a goober on the bass saxophone. I'm going for tone, that way you guys can hear what I use when I use these specific mouthpieces and the tone that I get. I like to think I sound pretty okay on bass sax. I like to think I do anyway. If I don't, please comment below saying I suck and why. But yeah, this is a baritone sax mouthpiece. This is the mouthpiece that I now use on my Con 12M. With not astonishingly, it's an old mouthpiece, but with amazing success. These are really, really great. They're starting to go up in price. You'd be hard pressed to find a Woodwind Co. for baritone for less than like $350 nowadays. Everybody knows what they got because of the freaking internet. But anyways, this next one that I have, This is definitely a baritone sax mouthpiece, but this is a dental resin copy of a Gale Hollywood, the mouthpiece that Jerry Mulligan used. I want to say that's what that was. Yeah, I used a Gale. For some reason I was thinking it was an MC Gregory, but this is Get a Sax Hollywood 2025, and this is in a 7-star. So these are still being made. Obviously, one's from freaking 2025. I forget what his last name is, but I know his first name is Brian. He's a really great guy. I've had the privilege of talking with him I wouldn't say several times, a couple times over the internet. I haven't met him in person, but I've tried his stuff and I really like his stuff. I want to say these, I don't know off the top of my head, so I'm not going to give you false information. But the next one I have is, this is T. Voitku. This is my buddy Tristan Voitku. He makes mouthpieces. I have a couple of his pieces. I have another baritone mouthpiece that's orange around here somewhere. I couldn't find it. And then I have one of his sopranino mouthpieces. Funny story on that, by the way. Tristan, if you're watching this, thank you for finally getting it to me, a year later. But that's neither here nor there. This is a really great piece. I have a short that I have up on Instagram of me playing like the core theme from Undertale on this. And I think I sound really great on this mouthpiece on bass saxophone. This is a baritone sax mouthpiece. It measures a .120, so like a 8. I think that's like an 8. Yeah, because if a 105 for tenor is a 7, and then that means a 150. Yeah, okay, cool. 8 tip opening. And this is really good too. I really like this. I like it more on bass than I do on baritone. This next mouthpiece, this is my classical piece. It's just a Selmer C-Star. This one's really special to me because I got it from my friend. And it's kind of got like this, you really can't. It's got like this burgundy color. We call these red C-Stars. And they're amazing. If you ever find one that's like this off, not brown, not light brown, but like it almost has like a rust colored tinge to it. These are amazing and I love it. And I very briefly used this mouthpiece on bass sax as well. There are some of these that I haven't ever used on bass sax. And I probably never will use on bass sax, but just for the purpose of this video. You can go get a C-Star. Not, what is it, the Full Metal Jacket. This is my C-Star. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Actually, there aren't many like this. These are few and far between. Anyways, up next for baritone mouthpieces. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is a Durga 3. This is what Leo P used way back in the day. I used to have 2 of these. I actually got this one from my buddy. It's funny. My buddy got this specific mouthpiece back in, whenever the heck the Durga 3 came out. 2017, 2018. And I tried this mouthpiece, and I'm like, damn, I really like it. So I went and got one. And then I bought this one from him probably I'd say probably 5 or 6 months ago. And I had 2 of them. I had 2 Durga 3s. They don't make these anymore. I think they're on the 5 now. But this is an amazing mouthpiece. Great internals. This is my primary baritone sax mouthpiece for my low A. I've got several baritone saxes. And by the way, that red case that you saw is not a contrabass, it's a bass sax case. But it's massive, and I don't think I'm probably going to use it. But anyways, alright, last of the baritone mouthpieces. This one is super special to me. This is a New York Meyer fat body for baritone. This one is a 5, and it's been through a freaking war. It's got the metal shank on the metal band on the shank, and it's got, what the heck is that? That's a screw that somebody screwed into the rubber, because there used to be a mouthpiece pickup there. And then it comes with the original ligature, so nice touch. But this is another mouthpiece that I use sparingly. This is like my convertible, so to say. And I use this on my my 12M. And a lot of these special mouthpieces I have, the Theo 1A little mouthpiece bags. They've got the zipper on them. These are worth their weight in gold. They're not. They don't weigh very much, but these things are freaking awesome. I've got several of them, and I wish they sold them alone, like just standalone, because I'd go out and I'd buy a bunch of them. All right, now moving on to bonafide bass sax mouthpieces. Now, I've tried several bass sax mouthpieces throughout my years as a saxophonist. I've tried Pillingers. I've tried Selmers. I've tried the original Kahn mouthpieces, Bishers, Van Dorens, etc., etc. If there's a bass sax mouthpiece, I'd probably tried it. But I only have 3 with me today that are bona fide bass sax mouthpieces. And the first one is, this is a Jody Jazz DV for bass. This is an 8. This is a great freaking mouthpiece. I got this one for a steal. I want to say I got it for, here, I should probably show the camera. Jody Jazz DV 8 for bass sax. I got this for $350 on Facebook Marketplace. This was a really freaking good deal. And it's got the original Rovner Star ligature and the cap that says Jody Jazz. $350. I got a damn steal on this. Pardon my French. But the next 2 mouthpieces, I'd have to say, are probably my favorite mouthpieces I have for bass sax, even though I only have 3. So I'll start off with this one. This is my tried and true Buffet Crumpon bass sax mouthpiece. Never noticed that. It has an E stamped on the side. There's no way in heck that this camera is going to be able to focus on that. But it's a Buffet. It's got some nice internals. Beautiful mouthpiece. This is my main bass saxophone mouthpiece. And I love the heck out of it. And I use a Harrison ligature with it. Those are really good ligatures. And then the one that I just got in, this is an old Van Doren mouthpiece. This, look at the size of that thing. That thing's freaking massive. I got big hands, y'all. That's a big stinking mouthpiece. This is a Van Doren V2. I think that's what that says. There's some markings on it. I know for a fact one of them is a V. But anyway, this is an old Van Doren bass sax mouthpiece. This predates the V5. They only came in one flavor back then. They only came in, I think, like 1 or 2 tip openings. But this is a V2. And this is a relatively close tip opening. This measures like a 90, which is pretty small as far as baritone / bass mouthpieces go. So anyways, oh, and it comes with a vintage ligature and a cap, which is nice because these mouthpieces are super valuable. Because the vintage ones, you know, they're, here, I need to face the camera. The vintage mouthpieces, you know, they're never made the same. Oh, cap's right here. Nice metal cap. Anyways, no 2 vintage mouthpieces are ever going to be alike. That's just how it is. So if you got one that's really good, it might take you a while to find another really good one, unless it's like an auto link. Well, actually, no, that's wrong. because there are a lot of original facing auto links that are kind of bleh. But anyways, the handwork can vary, is what I'm trying to say. And your gem that you might have had one day, you know, you go out and find another one. When you finally find one, it's not quite the same. So, without further ado, I have 4 different reeds I'll be playing on today. This one is here. I guess I should say 3. I'll be playing on 3 different reeds. So I have this one. This is what I'm going to use for like 90% of them. This is a Van Doren 3 bass sax reed. It is my favorite reed for bass sax. And then I have this one. This is a baritone reed. This is a 3. And I've thinned it down a lot. And I have DV scratched into the bark. And then I have a Barry Woodwind in Elite Medium for baritone sax. I'm an endorser for these guys, by the way. Super great reeds. I know I use a lot of cane reeds, but these are freaking phenomenal. And if you're doing like smooth jazz or pop or funk or even big band stuff and you want that little extra cut, they're amazing. And for marching band, I used one of these for a whole season, and only by the end of the season did it like kind of get bent. But you just bend it back and it works fine. As long as they don't warp. These take a lot to chip. These aren't like Legers. These are amazing. Anyways, I'm going to put on my little harness thingy. This is called a seal. CIEL. A diamond strap. These used to be kind of hard to find, but now they're pretty readily available on Amazon. I really like them. I wish my shoulders were a little bit broader, so that way it didn't do this number right here. So I could just... But anyways, so I'm going to start off with... I'll start off with the baritone mouthpieces. I will start off with the Gale. And what I'm doing here, you're going to have some players that say you really don't need a bonafide bass sax mouthpiece. And I'm here to tell you, yeah, you kind of do. I've seen some cats use Bergs. I've seen some cats use Autolinks. The Autolink Super Tone Masters are really good on bass sax, I will say that much. It's because of the facing. I'm sorry, yeah, it's got a longer facing. So those can be very, very good. I'll use this. But you really have to pay attention with how long your facings are. This one looks kind of short, so I don't think it's going to be really great. Yeah, I think Gale's had pretty short facings. I could be 100% wrong. I've never used this mouthpiece on bass sax before. So we're going to find out. I really like it on my Con 12M. So we'll see, I guess. I'm in this ride just as much as you guys are, but it does help to have a bona fide bass saxophone mouthpiece for a bass sax. Just because the chambers tend to be a little bit larger. The facings tend to be a lot longer. Shite. Anyways, so this is the Gale Get a Sax Hollywood on my Con bass saxophone. What I have found is that if you level your reeds good, if your reeds are nice and flat on the back and they respond really well, that octave D you can play full fingered, the 1 2 3 1 2 3 with the octave key. You don't need to use the side keys. I'm sorry, the palm keys. I like to use, I've said this in other videos, I like to add the low C sharp key. That just helps make it speak a little bit better. It's driving me crazy. I keep running into it. Sorry. Anyways, my thoughts, not super great. I'm not going to lie. It's really stuffy. Yeah, kind of stuffy. The articulation really isn't there. It's not super lively. And that might have sounded good, but I've got pieces here that are going to blow your brains away. Yeah. Would I use this on bass sax? No, I would not. It's really great. Like I said, it's really great on my con baritone. But yeah, not the kind of thing I got going on for bass saxophone. Hard to attack down low. Low notes are kind of stuffy. I'd give it like a 4 out of 10. If this is all you had to use, I wouldn't knock you for it, but I'd tell you to go find something else. Okay. So the next mouthpiece I have is going to be, let's see, we'll use my S80. Now I did for a very long time use this on this bass. And the thing that makes a bass great versus like a med bass is, one, everything's set up, but two, you have a nice reed, and three, you have a resonant mouthpiece. Now, as far as the cats that use Sios mouthpieces, that's not me, man. That's not me. It's plastic. But anyway, this is a Selmer C-Star for baritone. It's a baritone mouthpiece. On bass sax. It could just be that it's really hot in here, but it's sharp. It's kind of nasally. This would be great on a French rap bass saxophone. And I think I've even used this on this acoustic that I did in the French versus American rap video. But it's really focused, but for a con, I mean, I guess if... it doesn't have the stuff. And I don't think from y'all's end it has the stuff either. By the way, on the Gale, on the Get a Sax and on this, I was using the Van Doren 3 bass sax reed. I have... Now sometimes you just gotta experiment with setups. Maybe a lighter reed would have worked better on this. Maybe not. I personally don't think it would have. Where am I going to set this? We'll just set it up in here for right now. Here. Now, a lot of this is just going to be me rambling, but I encourage you guys, if you have some of these, go try them. Go try them on bass saxophone. Alrighty, next up, we're going to try the Meyer. We're going to go on the strain of hard rubber mouthpieces, and then we'll go metal. Now, I haven't played this. Actually, I take that back. I played this once on bass sax, and it was just to show a buddy something. And he's like, that sounds amazing. And I said, no, it doesn't. But he seemed to like it, and I happen to value his opinion very highly. So, some of you guys might have a New York Meyer for baritone. They do tend to they do tend to vary. Anyway, they do tend to vary a little bit. Some of them are good, some of them are meh. This happens to be a really good one for baritone. On bass, I can't. Yeah. You know what? With this reed, yeah. Happens probably to be the long facing that makes this play really well. So the thing about a baritone mouthpiece, to where it works good on bass sax. By the way, I was very wrong. This works great on bass sax. It's been a while since I've used this mouthpiece on bass because I have other ones. A lot of highs in this, I will say. There were a lot of high overtones. Anyways, it's the facing length. It's got to have a long facing length. Those are your auto links, your bundies, GOM bundies. What else? Any of like your older baritone mouthpieces. Those are gonna have longer. Facings. This probably has a really long facing, and it's got a little bit of baffle on it, so that's probably why it had. Probably why it had some of those highs. But anyways, yeah. That rattles. That's really nice. Kind of stuffy on the middle D. Anyways, that was pretty good. Oh, I don't think I rated the Selmer. I'd give it like probably another 4 out of 10. This I'd give a 6 out of 10, maybe a 6.5. What I'm looking for in a bass sax mouthpiece, for me, it's got to be incredibly resonant. I want to feel it in my bones. That low B flat has to be super, super, super round. And I want to be able to play full finger D, no stuffiness. And yes, that is partly the way the bass saxophone is set up. But a lot of it is also the reed that you have and the mouthpiece that you have. Your reed mouthpiece combination have to be perfect. Yeah, the mouthpiece just has to, the mouthpiece has to be super resonant. Obviously all of the other factors that I went over that make a great bass sax mouthpiece. Alrighty. So the next one. Here, we'll do the Durga. This one was All right. I've used it on bass sax once, and it was simply just to try it. I do have a really amazing ligature on it. Those who know. This is a Casper 1-screw E-flat clarinet ligature, believe it or not. So there's that. It had a lot of noise. Oh, by the way, that's the other thing. The bass saxophone is a very complex instrument. It can be probably one of the more beautiful sounding saxophones. But everybody just uses it as an oompa instrument. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. And it's more than just noise. It's more than just belting out low notes. By the way, this is a massive tip opening, so it's going to be really, really loud. But anyway, so I have the Barry Woodwind Elite medium on this. That's because this is one of the few reeds that I feel comfortable using on this. On this mouthpiece, anyways. Ew. Nothing. It is all highs. It is just noise. Huge tip opening, so it takes a lot of air. That's the other thing. You don't need a huge tip opening mouthpiece to get a huge sound. My two favorite bass sax mouthpieces are like under 0.100. So I think one of them's like a 0.95 and the other one is like a 0.90. But yeah, 0 out of 10 would never actually use this on bass saxophone. It's just kind of meh. Like, look at that chamber. Chamber is super, super tiny. Not my thing for bass sax. No, sir. Or ma'am. Or just no. It's 2025. Anyways, moving on to the, second to last, I should say. This is the T Voigt Q. Now, this one does have a pretty big tip opening, but it compensates for it in the facing and the chamber. Chamber's huge on this. This is a big chamber piece. And it's got a cutout. It's almost got like a Berg Larson thing going on. Here, I'll show you. That's got a very exaggerated bullet chamber. So, and the chamber already on it is pretty big. So you can have a bass sax mouthpiece with, you know, a big tip opening. I mean, shoot, the Jody Jazz is at 8. But you have to have the right balance of, you know, tip opening, chamber, facing, reed. You know, all of that jazz. Fine. I'll use a Rogner. I had a 3-screw ligature that I was using. I mean, not a 3-screw. I had a 2-screw ligature that I was using on this. The Selmer. But it's okay. So this is, okay, by the way, all of them except for the Durga have been the same Van Doren 3 bass sax reed. I just kind of ended up using them. So. This is great. Has a huge round. It's almost, I would say it's actually kind of dark. classical dark, obviously. Like, it's not like a Bisher or a Con. But I would say out of all of the pieces that I've tried so far, this is probably one of the darker ones. Yeah, good stuff. Tristan makes these. He's got an Instagram. It's T Voitq mouthpieces. I mean, I've known him for a really long time, so he kind of owed me this. But I want to say his pieces run anywhere from like 175 to 250. It's good stuff. I would say I will recommend it. For bass saxophone, I'd put it like an 8 out of 10. It takes a lot of like physical work to play it. But the tone you get out of it is absolutely amazing. So 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Alrighty. So this is the last baritone mouthpiece. And this one might as well be a bass sax mouthpiece. Just because how many people use these on bass sax. And it's the Woodwind Co. I know so many people that use these on bass saxophone. Like for the Dixieland stuff, even like for the vintage stuff. But this is a great mouthpiece. It has tons of cut, tons of core, tons of warmth. And is just an all in all a great mouthpiece. So I can't remember if I rated the other ones, but this one's good. By the way, same reed. This is the Van Doren 3. Super resonant. You get a lot of that buzz, that growl from bass sax here. Kind of tight on the cork. Super easy to play. I haven't measured this tip opening, but I'd say it's probably on the smaller side. It's a B5, and it's a vintage piece, so it's probably kind of small. Long facing, super long facing. Large chamber, and I want to say this one's actually got a little bit of a rollover baffle, so that gives it that crunch. Bitch. Sorry. It's going on YouTube. Okay. Anyways, these are great. I would recommend these to anybody for bass saxophone. Like literally anybody. Like you want a good bass sax mouthpiece, get a Woodwind Co. I had one. Actually, it was my first bass saxophone mouthpiece ever. I had a Woodwind Co. I want to say it was a B6, but it was a modern one. It was one that after LeBlanc took over. So it had to have been made in like the 60s or 70s. This one's from either the 20s or the 30s. It's got the metal shank. I mean, the metal band on the shank. This is a great piece. Also, I'm not venting that at all. I'm not venting that at all. It's just coming out right like that. Already just super resonant. 10 out of 10. Man, maybe like a 9, I'd say. It's missing some of the presence that a couple of these bass sax pieces are going to have later on. In fact, there's 2 of them that I really, really like. But yeah, highly recommend these for anybody playing bass sax. These they're called pickle barrel because of the way that they look. But yeah, these are great. Woodwind Co. and they have to look like this. So, anyways, actually, there are a lot of variants, but it's got to have the Woodwind Co. Steel Ebonite. Those are the ones you want to look for. And this is just a baritone sax ligature, a bonade. These are insanely good. Alrighty, I think that does it for baritone sax mouthpieces. I'll start with the newest of the bunch. Made in this millennium anyways. This is the Jody Jazz DV bass sax mouthpiece in 8. I know a lot of people that use these. They are really good. I'm going to try it with this reed first. Just for playtesting purposes. Because this is what I've used for pretty much all of them except for the Durga. It may not work just because of the thickness of this reed. By the way, this has got that like weird like double cut chamber. So it makes it massive on the inside. Anyways, here, hold on. Yeah, this is what's up. Would I say it's $750 or however much it is? I think they're... Last I checked, they were like $675. So almost a $700 mouthpiece. I could very well be wrong. But it was anywhere from like $600 to $800. For your average Joe, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for me. I mean, it's a lot of money. So the fact that I got this for like what I did is the only reason I bought it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have one. So, would I recommend it for the price? No, probably not. You can find some other makers that have that do better stuff. I will say it is an incredibly well built, incredibly well made mouthpiece. I mean, it's got the cut. So. It's definitely got the warmth and the darkness. I'm sorry, darkness isn't the right word. I would say roundness, because it's kind of a bright mouthpiece. This is the reed that I've scraped specifically for this mouthpiece. It's quite a bit thinner. At the tip, I'd say it's probably like a 2.5. But just so I can show you what's up. God, this is a very long YouTube video. But I'm talking a lot. It's whatever. I like it. It's not my go-to, believe it or not, actually. These other two bass sax mouthpieces are. It's got that huge freaking chamber. It's got a nice little bit of rollover baffle right there. Great mouthpiece. If it is an $800 mouthpiece, you can find better stuff for bass sax. Better budget, I should say. I'm not knocking Jody Jazz at all. I really love this mouthpiece a lot. But that is a lot of money. For anybody, really. I mean, I think I spend money on mouthpieces, like, quite a bit. I think I got this for like $5.25. Backstock. So, anyways, always try and be a deal hunter. You know, it helps. Next one is the Van Doren V2. Now, I'm going to use the same the same reed that I've been using. I thought I was going to be using multiple. In fact, I have a reed that works better for this mouthpiece, but just for wrong reed. Just for transparency, same reed. Pandora 3. Now this one is amazing. This one I got from a guy in LA. He's a studio musician in LA. And his name's Vinny Golia. I don't know if any of those names, I don't know if that name rings a bell. Super nice guy. We talked for quite some time. And he made me a good deal on this mouthpiece. And this mouthpiece belongs to a guy named Brian Johnston. He was a mouthpiece refacer in the Los Angeles area. And this was one of his. So this is, I don't know off the top of my head if this has been touched up by him. I don't see any markings. It looks like an original facing. But this is a really great piece. I am exerting the least amount of effort. That's the other thing. That is another big thing that goes into playing bass saxophone. This thing is massive. Granted, I'm a very large person, but this is a very large instrument. It is bugs. That's what happens when you live in the forest. Anyway, it is super easy for this to be a very challenging instrument. It's old. It's antiquated. Even if you have a new one, they're weird. Finding the right mouthpiece in reed combination for your specific needs. There's a million and one things that go into making a good bass sax setup. This is it. It's got a very large chamber. It's got rounded sidewalls, so it adds more volume to the inside of the chamber. Rather long facing. It's nice hard rubber. I'm a believer of, older hard rubber is better. So, but this is just a great mouthpiece. Also, I'm not venting that. So, reed and mouthpiece combination. Your reed is a lot of the factor in playing bass sax. If the dang thing don't respond the way you want it to, you're gonna have a bad time, bro. That's about all of Poor Butterfly that I know. Harry Gold in his Pieces of 8. Harry Gold, amazing bass sax player. But anyways, 10 out of 10. Actually, I'd give this a 9.5 because there is one more that is going to just blow everything away. And that is the Buffet. I don't know what the heck it is about it. I mean, it's got a pretty big chamber. It's hollowed out on the inside. It's got curved sidewalls. But this mouthpiece, I would put it up against just about anything. Now this is kind of cheating because I made this reed. I scrape my own reeds. I made this reed for this mouthpiece. So it's kind of cheating, but it's okay. It's for the purpose. It's just a video on YouTube. Anyway. just rings. Fingerings that work better. 10 out of 10. If you find one of these and I haven't bought it, buy it. Buy it. They're so good. It'll usually just be listed under buffet bass sax mouthpiece. They will have here, but let me just take the mouthpiece off the neck. They will have like this thick band at the bottom, like the two bands. An amazing mouthpiece. I'd put it up against anything 10 out of 10. Now, again, a lot of this is subjective. This is what works for me. I thought I'd just make a YouTube video of me trying out a bunch of mouthpieces on bass saxophone. So, at the very least, I gave you guys some things to look out for in a bass sax mouthpiece that I think works pretty well. For me anyways. I mean, if you want that laser focus thing, you might as well just play a baritone. I'm sorry. But but yeah, this is as of right now, this is 52 minutes long. So if you stayed and watched this long, thanks. I love you. Let me put this on my stand. By the way, they make a bunch of bass saxophone stands. This is literally just a Hercules stand that I have bent a little bit. As you may be able to see. It's got the prongs right there. But as opposed to like getting a giant, I mean, and this is, and I'm sure there are some more sturdy ones, but I might get a better bass sax stand one of these days. I know there's a guy that makes, here, let me just put this down. I don't want you guys to see my follicles. Where's I going with this? Oh yeah, I'm sure at some point I'll get a better bass sax stand. They just take up so much room. I know the Sax Racks one is massive. There is one that is like carbon fiber that like tears apart and fits in the bell. I thought about getting one of those, but they're also like $300. So I gotta stop spending so much money. But anyways, this has been this video. Let me know what you guys think. Which one you thought sounded the best. There's a bunch of mouthpieces that you can try on bass sax. I haven't tried the Sioses. I know there are some people that like really like them. I don't really like Sios mouthpieces, but then again, last time I tried one was in 2021, so it's been a second. Maybe I need to give them another try. But yeah, I think that's about it. If you guys want, I don't have a P.O. box. I like to slap stickers on my case, on my bass sax case. If you guys want to send me some stickers to slap on my bass sax case, it'd be really cool. I've got some really nice ones on here. This might be a felony, but I have a like this is a sticker like from NASA. Like I had a friend whose dad worked at NASA and brought this home. I never gave out my address, so it's whatever. But it says critical space item handle with care. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA Form 13, whatever. I'm not about to get a felony, but oh God. But anyways, I'm just yapping now. I think that's about it. Here. I'm thinking about doing like some reed making. I got a lot of these. These are all baritone sax reeds. It's a lot of Rico. A lot of Rico Royale. Good stuff. Good cane. But if that's something that you guys would be interested in, because I do work on my own reeds. I do scrape my own reeds. I get reed blanks and I shave them down and I do that kind of stuff. But I don't really have those machines, so I just do it by hand. If that's something you guys would like to see, let me know. I kind of want to make those videos, and if I have people that like them, I'll make them. So it's late, so I'm gonna get off the phone. Okay, I love you. Bye. Thanks for watching this video. It's long and I'm tired. So, but I hope this helped. There's a lot of good options out there that are really good. So, if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, or just want to say that you like my shirt or whatever, pop them down below. Like and subscribe, I guess. This channel seems to be doing pretty good, so I'm gonna keep making these whenever I can. I was on vacation for a pretty long time, so I wasn't around all of my stuff. I did. God, might as well. I did bring back a giant red bass saxophone case. There's my normal bass sax case. There's that one. I'm 6'5" for comparison. This comes up to like right here. But yeah, I mean it's a tank of a case. It's a Walt Johnson, and it weighs like 5 million pounds. So I kind of don't like it, but you could probably shoot a gun at it and it'd stop the bullet. But it has wheels, but it doesn't have like a carry handle, so you just have to like drag it, and it's super cumbersome. But anyways, I've been talking for way too freaking long, so I'm gonna end the video. If you guys have anything else that you want to see, drop it below. I'm gonna pack all my crap up and go to sleep because I'm sleepy. All right, see you guys later. Bye.